Can I meet you and I ask you, what's your name? Huh? Arjun. Hey, Mr. Arjun, how is your son doing in MIT? You'll be so thrilled that the president knows. But I remember that. I ask you, how's your daughter faring, or how's your husband? Did he get that promotion about which you were thinking? Don't you think the employees will give their life for such a man? Yeah. And don't you think the interpersonal relationship will be great? You remember name and know about it, okay, and at the right time use it. Very good also, okay. This is very simple. Always be courteous and polite. Courtesy is going out of fashion, unfortunately. Small courtesies. Opening the door for somebody, waiting for somebody to pass. You know, I tell people when I come out of the lift, my peons, my clerks, before I can come out, they rush into it. Yeah, that's okay. Virat trainer, I can, yeah. That. But they rush in, yeah, right, you're right, absolutely. Yeah. Small courtesies, I'm telling you. I'm not talking about big things, also small. And using courtesy words. Please, thank you, sorry, I beg your pardon, I admit I made a mistake. Giving seat to the senior citizen, giving seat to pregnant women, ladies, elderly. And you know what was the saddest day in my life? All my life I used to give seats to young, beautiful women, you know. And then one day, many years ago, a nice young beautiful woman got up and gave her seat to me and said, "Uncle, please sit." And I said, my God, that's the end of my life. If a beautiful young woman calls you uncle, then what is left in life? Okay, jokes aside. But yes, small courtesies like that you can think. Even when you sit down, waiting for everybody to sit down. Pulling up a chair for somebody. 6 of us are sitting and the 7th person comes and he's standing and talking and we are just sitting like that. Pulling up a chair. And if it's an elderly person, getting up and giving your chair to him. If it's a lady, getting up and giving chair. And some words I've said, you can use simple words like, see, words are very important. They can build up relationship, they can break relationship also. Your words can build up relationship, they can break relationship. Okay. So choose what you say rather than say what you choose. Get the point? Choose what you say rather than say whatever you choose to say. So don't say rude things to people. Don't be. You know, our interpersonal relationship is like a bank account. You start with, say, balance, 100 rupees balance. Every time you deposit money, the balance goes up. No? 1,000 rupees by cash, 2,000 rupees by draft, 3,000 rupees dividend warrant, etc. It goes up. And every time you withdraw money, the balance comes down. You withdraw cash, you give check to somebody, okay. At the end of the day, the balance is there. Now, which is a healthy bank account for a normal person? It should remain in credit balance. So our interpersonal relationships are like emotional bank account. Every deposit that we make increases our balance, improves our relationship. And every withdrawal that we make. Now what are the withdrawals you make? When you're rude, when you're sarcastic, when you don't keep your word, when you don't return the telephone call, when you don't do what you promised to do. These are all withdrawals from your account. And what are deposits? The opposite. When you're kind, when you're generous, when you give, when you call, when you keep your word, etc. So try and keep your emotional bank account, the interpersonal account in credit balance. Okay. And the more the credit balance, the richer is your interpersonal life. Okay. So use all these courtesy words, you know, including praising, etc. Wow, you look great. Now you decide the appropriateness. So don't go around telling everybody, yeah. This woman, supposing I see a woman and I know that she's got children, oh, your children are very sweet. And then next time I turn around and tell an unmarried lady, your children are very sweet, then what will happen? No? So you have to see what is appropriate. You know that famous Sardarji joke, no? Sardarji asked how to improve interpersonal. I'm not able to make friends and how to talk to strangers, what to do when I go in party. You know. There's nothing you ask people. If there are ladies, you ask them about their husband, about their children, how's their married life, etc. and all that stuff. So that's easy. They will love to talk about it and you'll have friends. So it happened when he went for the dinner, the party, he had 2 women, beautiful women, one sitting on his right, one sitting on his left. So he turned to the woman on the right and said, "Ma'am, are you married?" Because he was told not to ask about marriage and all. "Ma'am, are you married?" She said, "No, I'm not married." Next question, "How many children do you have?" Because he was told to ask about marriage. And he got a slap. So he said, "My God, what's wrong? I think I've reversed the order, that's not correct." So he turned, after 2 minutes, he turned to the woman on his left And he asked her, ma'am, do you have any children? She said, yeah, 2 children. The next question, are you married? Again he got a slap. So he asked the right question but to the wrong person, in a wrong order. Because he was told to ask about marriage for ladies. If it's a man, he was told to ask about the stock market, about the business, about things like that. So, this is what. So you have to judge the appropriateness before you use it. But these are very simple words and they mean a lot. Words, courtesy words. We all like to be understood. That's another deep desire. Yeah. Don't insist on being understood. You first seek to understand others. If you want to improve your relationship, empathy is put your... It could be said, it's a variation of that. Seek to understand others before insisting that they should understand you. You know, husband and wife fight, for example. The husband wants the wife to understand him. And the wife wants the husband to understand. If only one of them accepts that, look, let me first understand her point of view. Okay. And then hope that she understands my point of view. I'm sure that things will change. Is the desire there? Ego is out of our life now. We have taken out there only. At 3:45 only. No more ego will come. Next is be credible and consistent. Be credible and consistent. I told you that example of emotional bank account, no? Listen to this. I forgot. Now, it is the volume of the withdrawal that is important, not the number of withdrawals. I'll give you an example. So in the bank account, you open a recurring deposit account, and every month you put 500 rupees, 1,000, whatever you put, and you put for 10 years. So it becomes whatever. Let's say if it is 1,000 rupees per month, then you have about 12,000 with some interest. Let's say 15,000, 10 years, 1,50,000, and something is okay. Now for 10 years, you are every month depositing. Okay, you're not withdrawing money from the bank. And one fine day, you give a check of 1,50,000. Okay, or 1,60,000, whatever it is. And then the next time when you go, the bank manager says there's no money in your account. And then you argue with him. How can it be? For 10 years I've been depositing every month and only one withdrawal I've made. How can it be zero? Yeah. So if the withdrawal is very heavy, it can wipe out. So in marriage situation, for example, husband and wife may be devoted, loving, they may be making lots of deposits in their account. And one fine day the husband enters into an extramarital relationship. Now that one event can wipe out the entire. Yeah. And haven't you had, you see, at my age and with the work that I'm doing, I meet people who are elderly people like me, like Arjun, like this person, like that person, young people also. And the common thing used to be the same thing. My parents don't listen to me. And parents say, children these days don't listen to us. They don't understand us. And the young girl saying, I can't believe it. I will never talk to my parents. They didn't attend my marriage. What is this? So what if I married against their wish? But they should have. They are my parents. And the parents, you talk to them, they'll say the same thing. My daughter got married without informing me. I'm not going to see her face again. One withdrawal only from both sides. They loved each other very much. Again ego and again all sorts of things come in. Yeah? So be credible, keep your word. Small. Credibility means keeping your word. If you promise to do something, however small it is, do it. When you build up credibility, see, ability is important, but dependability is critical. Your business relationship also will improve. People will willingly cooperate with you when they know that you are dependable, you are trustworthy, you are believable. Otherwise, it's very important that you be credible. Non-credibility damages relationship, breaks friendship, spoils business relationship, etc. So, write this sentence. Ability is important, but ability, talent, to do anything, that is important, obviously. In life, ability is important, but dependability is critical. Okay, let's go. Ask for advice. This I learned quite late in life. Ask for advice and special favors. You'll be surprised people love to give advice. And if you ask them for this, they love to have an opportunity to show their expertise, Correct. And if you ask them, they're happy. they'll seek your company out, they'll like you very much, because they want to show off their expertise, okay? And that feeling that they get, when they talk to you from a position of authority and power, that I am something, I have done something, I can do that, listen to me. And I find it works. And you become wiser. It is better to ask foolish questions and learn something than to give foolish answers. Yeah? Don't be afraid of sounding foolish. I tell you, I've learned quite a bit of computers by asking basic questions to small children. Sometimes, uncle, ye bhi nahi aata aapko? I feel happy they call me uncle. If they say, Nana ji, aapko ye bhi nahi aata, then also they will be correct. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't be hesitant. And the children are so happy, uncle, I'll do it for you. Show it to me, I'll do it for you. Facebook, uncle, main bataunga aapko. So, and grown-ups are only small children in long pants, Small children in half pants, grown-up are small children in long pants. They love to show off, etc. In the bargain, your relationship will improve. Next, I'm going a little fast. I'm exceeding our time. I wouldn't give advice. And when I give advice, I make them pay for it also. Of course. If they ask me in my professional capacity, yes. I tell my students also, in the class you pay attention, I'm teaching. Suppose I was teaching them interviews, how to prepare for interviews and all. I said, you listen to me, I'm covering every point minutely. Don't come outside the class and ask me. Because I'm burning a lot of energy, I'm thinking a lot of things, I've prepared a lot, and I'm coming in talking to you. If you come outside, I'll charge you. That we will see. Bone meal chocolate is a favorite. No, what I'm saying, that is just to put into them. Yeah, no, I don't, but I don't give advice unless asked. I tell you, I've just given a talk on good luck, bad luck, who knows. I really don't know what is good for somebody. Bad luck, etc. So I would not give advice. Especially where intimate personal matters are concerned, I would not give. It's all that advising somebody to buy this. If it's not asked. And even if it is asked, try to, try to analyze the position and put it there. See, counseling doesn't mean telling person what to do. It is making him strong enough to decide for himself what to do. So put the things before him, this is what is likely to happen, and let him decide. If he's an adult. A child, yes, you may even hit a child because he's crossing the road and all. As long as there's a physical death. See, I've been lucky, my child did not ask me anything, which college to go. When he wanted to go abroad, he didn't ask me, should I go abroad? He said, I want to go abroad, I'm going abroad. Then as a father, I played the role of helping him in going abroad. When he decided to get married to an American girl, he didn't ask me, should I marry that girl? He said, I want to marry that girl, this is that, etc. So I told him, if he invite me, I'll come. I'm lucky that way, that I didn't have. Even I think like that, when I think back then, when he finished his graduation there, he never asked me, should I come back or should I stay on there? I still don't know what I would have told him if he had asked me that. Honestly. If he had asked me if I do. He decided to stay on his own. Then I was... his own judgment. I supported that decision, whatever I could as a father, financially and otherwise. Okay, but all parents are not so lucky. I'm lucky that way. Okay. But yeah, coming to advice, I would be afraid to advise anybody. Now some simple advice like which share to buy and which share to sell, maybe if you've got knowledge and somebody asks you, you can give. But where human emotions are concerned, etc.,
very tough.
Very tough. At least I find it, yeah. And the more you know, the more confused you are.
Right.
The less you know, the more opinions you can have,